Okay, I need somebody to pop on here and let me know if this is working. I'm just waiting to see if someone comes on to see if I have this set up right. Otherwise, we may have to cancel tonight's live because I know I don't want to watch a video like that. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on my phone. Now I have it no sound. I'm just waiting to see if someone. Okay, I think it's good. Can y'all hear me? It sounds like it's okay. Hi, Araceli, is that how you say it? Okay, if any of my regulars are on here, I think that it's working now. Um, I don't think it's actually coming through the mic. I think it's coming through the computer. Let me see. Hang on. Can you hear me? Hey, Sherry. We're doing a little sound check here. I had to leave my live and come back. So I apologize to anybody that's new. Hi, Araceli. Is that how you say it? I'm just checking to see. Hi, Terry. Okay, good. We got sound. All right. Us. Let me just see if it's. Hang on. Okay, I don't think I need to wear this. I think it's coming through the computer. If y'all can't hear me, let me know. I just put that down because I don't think it's coming through there. I think it was just a bad connection. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Hi, Beth. Welcome to my page. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I was saying is we're going to do a quick flip on this piece. I'm going to be using dark colors because I'm going to show you. This is what it looked like when I cleaned it. Okay, and also the top of it is very yucky. You see this? Can y'all see that? Look at that. So I had to do some sanding on the top, and I just noticed that this veneer is coming up just a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the live. I'm gonna have to glue that down. So I'll probably have to do some touch-up paint um, tomorrow. That's okay. I just noticed it. So we're gonna just go ahead and paint it. And then because I'm using all paint, I'm not using any gel stain because what I'm trying to show you is that you can do things a little like, so I was going to stain the top, but then I would have to wait 3 days, 4 days for it to dry before I put a top coat on it. Um, then if I was going to do a light color, I would have to boss this. There's no way this is not going to bleed. So instead, I'm going to use caviar so I don't have to wait for the boss overnight. So I'm just trying to show you some ways that sometimes you have to change your plan in order to get your project done quicker. Okay, Jason, I don't know what I did, but I think it was just a matter of leaving and coming back in. I think it was a bad connection because I don't think it's the microphone that it's working on. Okay. All right. So Sherry, thank you so much. Bridget, welcome. It's hard to hear when I turn away from the phone. Okay, I'm going to put this back on and y'all tell me. I'm going to put this back on. I don't think it's coming through the mic, but when I turn, can you still hear me now? Does it sound better with the mic on? Doing a sound check here. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start. One of the things I am going to tell you is our paint, the Dixie Belle paint is water-based, but I'm not going to use any paint tonight because any paint. I'm going to use paint. I'm just not going to use any water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just the paint so that we use as little water as we have to in order to have as little bleed through as we can get. Because even with dark colors, I've seen people use caviar before and it was such a bad bleeder that it looked like it had spots in it. So I'm not going to be using water and I'm not going to be using a water-based top coat on the main part of the piece. Okay, I'm going to be using the hemp oil, which is what did I do with it? Okay, I'm just combobulated now. So I'm going to use the hemp oil, which is an oil-based top coat. It's also food safe, and there's so many nice things about it. You can actually put it in your hands and on your nails. There's just all kinds of great things about it. But I'm going to use this to seal the caviar, and that's going to give me another step of prevention from any bleed through coming through. Then on the top, I'm going to be using the coffee bean paint, and then I'm going to use the voodoo gel stain on top of that, and then I'll use high gloss top coat on top of that. Okay, and I'm going to show you what I did to kind of give me a little idea. I did a little sample board for myself just to see if my idea was visually appealing. This is something that I do because I'm a very visual person. And so if you look at this, I'm going to try and get this in the light. So this is coffee bean with the voodoo gel stain and a high gloss top coat. Now, of course, this is a little bit streaky. I did this very quickly. Okay. And then this is the caviar. This is what we did last week. Remember when we did a sea spray? So this is caviar. And then I did not put a top coat on that yet, but it's going to, the hemp oil has a matte sheen when it dries. And so this is going to be pretty close to what it's going to look like. But I wanted to originally do a gel stain on top of this because they're so pretty. And even though this is, even though this top looks really bad, a gel stain would look really nice on here. But then I got to thinking that I wanted to show you how we could do this piece using all the products quickly so that we don't have to wait for overnight dries and 3-day dries for the gel stain. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I need to get something. I'll be right back. I need to get me some little tins. Oh, I had everything. Okay. So I'm just going to squirt some paint into my, I don't know if this is what I'm talking through or not, but just in case. So the first thing I'm going to do a coat of the coffee bean on here first, and while that's drying, I'm going to do the caviar on here, and then I'm going to go back. If I need a second coat, I'll do it, and if not, I'm going to go ahead with the tobacco. So the first thing we're going to do is caviar, and I'm just going to squirt some in here. Okay, and this is our blackest black. And I'm going to be using my Dixie Belle small flat small. That's this one. Love these, love these. My mic. So, okay, can you hear me? Oh boy. So is it the mic that you can't hear, or is it me in general that you can't hear? Oh my goodness, guys. Just let me know. Maybe we're going to have to do sign language, maybe. I don't know. I'm watching the comments, so let me know. I'm on a 30-second delay. So when I'm talking to you, it's 30 seconds before I see your comment. But I'm just going to go ahead and start. And just going to lay down. Oh, I was going to do coffee bean first, wasn't I? See, I'm all mixed up. All right, so I'm going to put this down because it's not working. Now it's completely gone. Hang on. I think it might be Facebook. When you turn away from the phone, we can't hear as well. I don't think your mic is working. Okay, so the mic's not working. Well, I'm just going to talk louder then. How's that sound? I'm just going to scream. I'm going to do coffee bean first. This is coffee bean. It's our darkest brown. Okay, see that? Coffee bean. And I'm going to use my mini angle. Okay, I'm not going to talk. Try turning y'all's volume up. Well, I'm not on the phone. I'm actually videotaping this through my webcam. And so I'm thinking maybe there's something up with the audio on that. But if y'all can hear me and it's not warbly, we're just going to keep going on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a top coat of 1 coat of coffee bean to start because I want this to dry while I'm painting the rest of the piece, okay? So we're going to go ahead and go. We're just gonna keep going. I'm probably gonna have to do some repairs to this veneer tomorrow, but that's okay because I can just paint another coat afterwards. But for you, for tonight, we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're just gonna do it. I'm gonna take this out so it doesn't fall on the floor. Okay. And so because I'm not using water, we're going to get nice coverage. I'm not worried about blending anything, so I don't really need the water. I usually don't use a water with my first coat anyway, but I just splooshed it onto the ground. But look at that coverage. Do you see that coverage on that? And I'm not using caviar because I wanted the top to almost mimic the no paint gel stain in the walnut. And so that was my original plan. But because I decided not to do that, I wanted to do something that was water based. So I didn't have to wait for it to dry. I kind of came up with this idea so that it'll kind of mimic the same look. So I didn't want to go as dark as caviar underneath the tobacco road. I could have used chocolate or mud puddle probably, but I just love coffee bean. Debbie, you guys crack me up. I had a hard time just trying to decide what to do tonight because I'm kind of in the middle of custom jobs. Look at that. I'm only going to need one coat of the coffee bean. Okay. I'm going to set it up. And for you, those of you that missed it, I'm using as little water as I can so that, hi Cindy, hi, so that I have as little bleed through as possible because the water-based paints and top coats are part of what makes the tannins come out of the wood. Now, if they're really bad, heavy tannins, they're going to come out anyway. But water makes it worse. So we're not adding water, which will help. Because even though I'm using dark colors, guys, you can sometimes see spotting if the bleed through is really bad. Okay. I'm a little bit ticked off about this veneer popping up right here. Y'all can't see it, but there's a little tiny. Hey, Cindy. Oh, that's I. We have two Cindy's on here. So there's a little pop up right here. This probably came up after I cleaned it today with the water, with my white lightning and a water rinse because that was not there. So after I cleaned it and went and had my dinner, it popped up. This piece is really old. It's really dry. If it had been in better shape, I would have done a black wash on it because the black wash looks so good with this darker brown. But it's not good enough condition to do a wash on it. Okay, so I'm not going to need any more of the coffee bean. That covered it completely. I am going to put my brush in a bag instead of water, just in case, because I don't want to add water. So just in case I need this again, I'll have it in here. Okay, so now I'm going to put the caviar on. All right, so I'm going to turn this back this way so y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay. See, this is kind of like a black wash right here. You can kind of see, looks like I'm going to have to be putting something underneath the foot too. So I've got lots of little you know, pads and stuff that I can put underneath it to, hi Jane, welcome, to keep it from doing this. It could be the table too, but I won't know until I get it on the floor. But for a black wash, you would just use a little bit of water and put your paint on and let your, there's a little something on there that's white. I don't want that on there. I'm not sure what that was. And because the paint is self-leveling, I don't really need water to make sure that the paint is going to not have brush strokes and stuff. It helps to move the paint, but we're gonna try and get through it without additional water. Really won't matter because I'm gonna be putting the stain on top of that. Okay. And to prep this piece, I used White Lightning twice. And on the first video I showed y'all, this is what it looked like. This is how dirty it was. It's gross. Yeah, Cindy, I got a whole bunch of those little bags. Doris was going out of business. Well, they're actually out of business now. They're the ones who they supply Michael's stores, and they had everything 50 and 65% off. So I bought a bunch of those little baggies, and actually bought more than I thought because you had to buy it in volume, and you know it was like so many 50 in a bag times 6 or whatever. So I have like, I probably will never have to buy another Ziploc bag again, ever. But they were really cheap, like pennies. Okay, so we're just getting this on here. Actually, this is a, I said this was a flat small, this is a flat medium. I lied. It's hard to tell because there's so much paint on it. Okay, the coverage on this paint is so good. Hey, Wendy. Yeah, it was a really good buy. What did I do with the drawer? I'm going to paint it with a drawer in because I am going to be painting the hardware. I cleaned the hardware when I cleaned the drawer. So again, we're just doing it quick, no nonsense. We're not doing any special techniques. We're just painting. Sometimes I just like to paint. I don't like to have to worry about blending or. And don't worry, this will stick to the hardware. I'm doing a thin coat. I'll let that dry really good. And then I'll put another coat on there and it will be fine. This is just soaking the paint right up because it's so dry. Hey, Amy. We had a little technical difficulties, but I think we've got everything worked out. I know it looks blah right now, but when we put that gilding wax on here, it's going to be really pretty. And this is going to be a high gloss. So it's going to just, yeah, this has got some scratches in it, but it's covering it right up. Thank you, Wilma. I always like to go under here just in case someone peeks under there. Actually, because my husband's always like, why don't you do it neater underneath? It's like, because nobody sees it unless they're until they put it in their car and then they're like, it's like, you're not going to see that. He's my best fan and my worst critic. I was considering maybe getting some of the brown from the tobacco road and putting it in here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to keep it as simple of a finish as I can. Trying to prevent myself from wanting to do this, this, and this. The paint is leveling so nicely. These brushes make all the difference. If you want a paint finish that doesn't have brush strokes, you don't want to be using a natural bristle brush or a chip brush. You want to use something that's synthetic, made for chalk paint, so that you get the best finish that you can, unless you're going to spray it. Of course, you're not going to get brush strokes, so you're going to spray it. I will be showing you guys some spraying. Um, well, as soon as the weather cools off a little bit. I thought I was going to be able to do it today or yes tomorrow, but I've got a really pretty buffet that I'm going to be doing it in caviar also, but I will be spraying it. And I know I've done spray videos before, but I've got a lot of new followers that have probably not seen it before. Yeah, Jason, they're not supposed to be allowed to do that. You know, it's like, come on now. I mean, I get it mostly. Now, this I always get, but like underneath here, come on, really? And I do the backs only if it's a piece of furniture that can be used like in the middle of a room or something like that, or like a sofa table that's going to be seen a little bit from the back. Other than that, I look at the piece, and if the original finish or the factory finish, the original paint job, if the back was done, then normally I will redo the back. But go look at your furniture. Very few pieces of furniture are finished on the back. You know, unless it's like a desk that's, you know, an executive desk that's meant to be in the middle of a room, or the back faces the middle of the room. You know, normally you don't have to worry about the backs. Yeah, I'm like, unless you're going to come in there and paint it for me, don't complain. Just tell me how pretty it is and move yourself on. I love this brush. It's just a really nice size for this size. For this size of a piece, this is all you need. So like if I was painting this piece by myself and I wasn't doing a live, I would probably use the same brush. I would just rinse it out and wait and do the top. Yes, Cindy, I do have a spray video. Um, I did cobalt blue. I think it was cobalt blue. Um, and I just loaded all of my live videos onto YouTube because I just had a new website redone for the WordPress website. And it's easier to load videos onto the new website from YouTube because that's where the storage goes, is on YouTube. And it's nice because every time I load a video, it automatically jumps over to my website. And the website's not live yet, but you can get all of my videos now are on YouTube. So if I mention a video, don't go through my Facebook feed trying to find it. Just go to Paint Fixation on YouTube, and then you can see all the videos all together. And I have a playlist, and I haven't really narrowed it down too much, but it's like furniture prep, furniture painting prep and I think like crafts and miscellaneous. So, and I'm pretty sure I've got all of them labeled. So if you want a spraying video, you can go to my YouTube channel and look for it there. So Michelle, I did not use Boss. That's one thing I'm trying to show is that there is a possibility when you're using a dark color that, especially on a bigger piece, like a the top of a piece, you might be able to, if it's really bad bleed through, you might be able to see some discoloration that more than likely is bleed through. This is a smaller piece. The chances of that happening are rare to be able to tell, but I'm using no water. I am using water-based paint, but I'm not adding water, and I'm going to use hemp oil to seal it, and that's an oil-based. So the chances of any bleed through coming through is greatly diminished. So I'm trying to show how you can do a piece that might require Boss by just changing up the color that you were going to, because I was going to paint this color like in dusty blue. My daughter and I were trying to decide what color to paint it. But then when I went to go cleaning it and I saw how bad the top was, there was like, there's no way I'm using dusty blue without Boss. See, there you go, Debbie. That's what I'm saying. So, I just, because I wouldn't have been able to do a live, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do tonight. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging again on another Wednesday because last week I missed, and I'm trying very hard to be consistent. So I thought, well, I can't put Boss on it because I won't be able to paint it till tomorrow. Because when you use Boss, the longer you let it sit on your furniture, the better it works. And so I am hoping that this works out the way I'm hoping it will. One thing I am going to do the insides here, and I'm probably going to do the back of this just for consistency, just so I don't have any runs or globs, just to keep it smooth. Definitely going to have to fix that wobble. I have a bunch of furniture out in my garage that needs some repairs. So I'll be doing a video next week showing you how to fix veneer, like the piece on here, but since we're painting this tonight, I'm not going to show you all that. I'll do it tomorrow on my own time. I'm just looking at comments. So on the top, I am going to use gloss, but I'm putting the Voodoo Gel Stain on the top, the brown, so you won't be able to tell. If it does bleed through, it probably will not be seen. You can put gator hide under the gloss if you want to, but this kind of piece, I don't anticipate it being, you know, there's not food or water. Well, I'm just going to keep doing that. Here I said I wasn't going to do this, but here we go. All right. So, there's a few places on here that are going to need a little bit of a touch up. But we're going to let that dry. And I think I'm going to have to move y'all up. So, if you're using, so I'm going to be using the gloss top coat. If I wanted it to be water repellent, I could use gator hide under it and then put the gloss. But the gloss top coat is a very good top coat. I am not worried about it not being durable. The gloss top coat is a very durable top coat. And I don't think it will show bleed through. So let's see. Let me raise y'all up. Let me bring y'all a little closer over here. Hang on. So Cindy asks, would you suggest using Boss first before doing any prep? No, I always, the first thing I do for anything is clean. Hang on, my wire's short. Hang on. So when you prep, the first thing you want to do is clean before you do anything. I never sand. If I'm going to sand, I always clean it first, because if you don't, you're basically just putting the dirt into the surface. Okay, so y'all can see pretty good, and now you can see this little part right here? But I'm going to keep going because I'm going to show you, this is just demonstrating, okay? This piece is not, I'm not, I'm not in a hurry to put this up for sale. I'm using the Voodoo Gel Stain in Tobacco Red. And I'm going to use an applicator pad to put it on, to rub it in. I'm going to just squirt it on. Okay, and so this is brown. And I'm just going to and this is not the applicator pad I use because I can see the lines. I think this might be one of my ones I got from. Hang on, let me change out my pad. I think this is the wrong one. Hang on, let's see. Yeah. Hang on. I got some cheapies. I don't know. I got ones. And you can see that I've just put that paint on there and it's not coming up. I just got a few little. You can put this on with a brush if you want. It's starting to dry, so I'm gonna add some to this. This would be easier if I could see. So I'm going to put more than one coat of this on. Check and see if I have any comments. So I'm kind of liking the texture on this, so I'm just going to pull this down. Kind of a happy accident. Okay, can you see the texture on that a little bit? And I'm going to let this dry. And then I'm going to put a second coat on, okay? Because I'm kind of liking the width that's let that dry a little bit. And then I'm going to start around here. This is dry. Let me hit it. Maybe. Look at the coverage on this. You all see that? Isn't that pretty? I love this color. Yes, I love the brown and the black together. And I would normally do a walnut or espresso gel stain on top, but I didn't want to wait. It takes, if you're going to, I'm just going to try and stuff this in here so this doesn't get hard on me. If you are doing gel stain and you are going to put a water-based top coat on it, you have to wait. I like to wait for at least 4 days. Some people do it in 3. I'm not comfortable doing it in 3 because I have had it haze over on me when I did that before. What happens is if you put a water-based top coat onto a oil-based stain and it's not completely dry, you'll get hazing from the moisture. And so anytime I use gel stain, I make sure that it is dry. And it'll be dry to touch in a day or 2, but I don't trust it. I always wait because it's very hard to fix. Now, I'm not using water for my second coat because, like I said, I don't want to introduce any more water than I have to. And it's pulling a little bit, but not too much. And I'm just basically touching up anyway. There's just a few places on here where I see a little bit of the brown coming through. Not much at all. So I'm just going to touch this up with a light second coat. This leg just down here needs a little bit. And same with this one. Okay. So we're just lightly touching up. Check my comments real quick. Let's see. Okay. And I've got a little bit of showing through here. And then I'm going to put another very light coat over my hardware. I didn't do the underneath part before. The light coat. And I'm going to be putting some gilding wax on that. Just a spot there. This was a very good coverage on this. Probably because this piece is so dry, just grabbed onto the paint. Again, I love doing the black wash with the wood showing through, but this piece was just not in good enough condition. The paint was way too dry and splotchy. Okay. There. I missed a spot right there. And this second coat will it will dry without any brush strokes. I see no brush strokes on here at all. And I didn't have to use water to get that finish. Missed a spot there. And back here. And that's it. I'm just getting anywhere I see a little bit of the wood showing through. I'm just grabbing it. Okay, that looks good. Any questions? Yes. So Cindy, I love caviar with the walnut. And actually, it looks good with espresso too. Okay, so this is still tacky, so I'm gonna hit it with the blow dryer and see what happens. Let's try it. Yeah. When y'all are doing this yourself, you can always wait for it to dry naturally. That's always the best way. But for the purposes of television, we're gonna hit it with a blow dryer, and hopefully we'll get good results. I'll pull this out. So I like the texture that this has got on it because this top is such bad condition that it's working with the issue. I wish y'all could see it better. I don't think you can really see it on camera. Well, that's pretty good representation because there was the top finish was not nice. So we are using these two colors to kind of hide that problem. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Cindy. Okay. See how this goes. Second coat. I'll get some more. Went on much nicer than the first coat did. Y'all see what I'm doing? Yeah, y'all can see. The Voodoo gel stain does absorb into the paint. Um, so that's probably why I had a little bit of drag earlier. It was just because, like I said, this is just such a dry piece. Everything is just soaking in. There. Okay, you see that? Okay, you're a little late to the party. Okay, you must have seen it first. Okay. Now you can also use the wood gritting tool on this, but I'm not going to because, like I said, I'm trying to keep it simple. I might go one more time this way just because I'm liking the texture that it's showing. Kind of a crosshatch because of the sponge. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hemp oil. Now, ideally, you would want to wait, longer than I'm waiting. But I'm going to hit it with blow dryer, and then we're going to just put a hemp oil. So one thing I am going to show y'all, hang on. Thank you, Michelle. So one thing I'm going to show y'all is sanding this. I'm going to use this gray pad here, and I got this idea from AJ's Vintage Design. Not sure if she's still on or not. This is a 3M ultrafine sanding pad, and I'm just going to use it to knock off actually this feels very smooth, so this probably isn't even necessary, but I want to show it to you guys. So this is going to make it look chalky, and I'm going to go with the grain here. And all this is doing is just any little knobs or any little pieces of paint that are on here, this is going to knock it off. But again, I'm surprised at how smooth this is, considering the condition of this piece. But it's actually feeling very smooth. But I'm just using this to knock off any, you can use like a 400 grit, 300, 320 to do this. But AJ was telling me about these and I wanted to try it, and I really like them. You can only get these at Lowe's. I mean, not Lowe's, Home Depot. I didn't see them at Lowe's. And I'm barely touching the surface, but you can see that it's kind of giving it a choppy look. But that will go away. And as you can see, the paint is not coming up. This is a well-prepped piece. If you took this sanding pad to a piece of furniture that was not cleaned well, it could wipe the paint right off. And you guys, we literally have been, let's see, it is 7:57, so we've been doing this for almost an hour. So the paint has not been on here very long at all. And yet I'm not getting any pullback from the paint. Now, if I do, it'll be my fault because it'll be a prep issue. Okay, that's just a little part of the furniture right there. Paint. And just like that, we are sanded. That's it. So now I'm going to take a clean rag, and this is just a lint-free t-shirt, and I'm just going to wipe it down, get any dust off. We're not using water. The dry cloth, nice and smooth. This is my favorite part when the paint starts to feel like butter, or very smooth, I should say. I always say like butter, but I never really understand that because butter is greasy. But we say it, so I say it. Smooth as butter. Hang on, I'm getting hot. Hope y'all can still hear me. Oh, there's more light. There's no glare. And Kate, I know we can't quite figure out why there's a sound issue, but I don't know sign language. Okay, so now we're going to put the hemp oil on. So I'm going to use another dark, lint-free, hopefully, cloth. Where did I put it? Here it is. And so with hemp oil, you're going to apply it. And then tomorrow, I will wipe back any hemp oil that comes to the surface because it will only absorb what it needs. Okay. And then after that, if it looks like it needs another coat, if it's not too much, but not enough, I'll add some more. And then the next day I'll wipe it back if I have to. But usually it just takes the one coat to get it on there. And then you'll just wipe it back, in a few hours. But it's not days like it would be if I was using the gel stain on top. Can y'all see that shine? Down here. You see that? I'm going to bring this down some more. Let's bring this down. I'm just putting it on my little rag and rubbing it into the paint. It's such an easy application. You could also use Big Mama's Butter for this. The sheen with that one is a little bit more of a sheen. This one's a matte when it dries. And I wanted it to be matte too, because this is going to be high gloss. Questions? Yes. I love hemp oil. It's mostly for dark colors. You don't want to use it on a light color because it's an amber color. And you'll be able to tell if it's the next day, you'll be able to tell if you need to wipe any back because it'll be a little bit splotchy. And that's just the extra oil coming to the surface. And you just wipe it back, dump it in. I am going to be using gilding wax on this piece, but I don't want to apply the gilding wax until tomorrow, probably. I didn't think about that, but I'm not going to apply the top coat either tonight because I usually like to wait at least overnight. So tomorrow, maybe I'll come back live tomorrow and we'll do the top coat. Up here, I'll wipe back the hemp oil with you on camera, and then we'll do the gilding wax. How's that sound? Tomorrow's Thursday. I don't have anything to do. I mean, I've got plenty to do, but I gotta do this too. So maybe what I'll do tomorrow is I'll fix this right here and touch it up. And then we'll put the high gloss finish up there. And see, I am putting pretty good pressure on this, and there's no paint coming off, even on the hardware, where I did not use slick stick. And again, if the paint were to pull back, I'll be the first to blame myself. But I know it's clean. I cleaned it twice. And I rinsed all the white lightning off. If you don't rinse your white lightning off, then you run the risk of it resisting your paint. I don't know that I would use coconut oil. I don't think coconut oil would absorb into the paint like the hemp oil does. I've never tried it. I'm a big fan of coconut oil. I love coconut oil. But the coconut oil is not going to cure like the hemp oil does. Hemp oil cures rock hard. And I want to say 7 days. It says 2 days. 2 days to cure. Look how rich that looks. Let me see if I can get that in the light. Can y'all see that? Now you can see, okay, see how it's kind of shiny? that shine will go away after it dries. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be able to tell if there are areas that are splotchy. That's just oil, excess oil. Where I missed some right there. And so I will come back and buff it out. So what I'll do is, since I don't want to do the gilding wax yet, I'll come back tomorrow evening and we'll assess the hemp oil to see if it needs any more wiping back or if it needs more hemp oil. There's a chance that it'll need more just because this was such a dry piece. There's a chance this hemp oil is going to go all the way down into the into the wood in some places, because the finish was still on here in some places, but I had to sand. It had some weird stuff on it that I had to sand back. I couldn't get it off with the white lightning. This is such a beautiful finish. Okay, so I'm going to show you before. Let's tilt this way. Okay, so you can see that. Hang on. Let me put some on here. Put some on here. See how nice that looks? Look at that. And then tomorrow I'll show you how it is a little bit more matte. Now that I bring it down, I can see where I messed some places. It's all in the lighting. As soon as I put it down, I can see a little spot that I missed. Now the last piece I did, I sealed it with Big Mama's Betta. Oh, it turned out so nice. It felt so nice. But again, I wanted this to be more matte. The Big Mama's Betta is not much, it's not much shinier than this, but it does have a little bit more of a sheen on it. But I wanted the contrast between the matte and the gloss on the top. Questions. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, Michelle, I don't think I would feel comfortable using the coconut oil. I use it in my hair, in my body, on my skin, but I think that the molecules in the coconut oil, if I recall correctly, you might want to do a little research on that, but I think the molecules in the coconut oil are larger, and so I don't think it would go into the paint like you would want, and I definitely don't think that it would cure for a durable finish. But that doesn't mean you can't try it, you know. I would try it on a sample board. That's how I test everything. So I'm going to leave this. Let me feel this. Okay, I'm going to go one more time up here, going this way. Okay, so I'm going to bring y'all back up. A teaspoon, or I would say closer to a teaspoon each time. Here, I'll show you. I'll just put some on here real quick. So every time I put it on there, maybe like that. You see, maybe a little tiny bit more than that, but that's it. I'll waste it. And also, hemp oil is food safe, guys. So you could use this on your butcher block, cutting boards. And I think hemp oil only has to be replaced like every 7 years, I think. So it's a more durable, longer lasting than wax. Okay, I'm just going to do one more, going the opposite direction on this. So let's show y'all Big Mama's butter too. I'll do that really quick. Yeah, okay, so let's go this way with it this time. And see, now that it's got 2 coats on there, this is going on so much easier. It's not pretty. And that's going to look so good with the dark, with the gloss. All right, I want to show you. This is the drawer. It's in pretty good condition. There's no stains or anything in here. And I'm going to take my Big Mama's butter and freshen it up a little bit. Lower this down just a little bit. Okay. So we've got our Big Mama's butter. I got my rag that I use just for Big Mama's butter. Okay. Put some on there. You see? And I'm going to take this. This conditions the wood. It seals it, protects it. Now, the one I have is unscented because I'm not worried about smell. This does not stink, surprisingly. More. I'm trying to get it so y'all can see. I'm also going to do this side of it. You see that? Ooh, that's so pretty. I'm going to go right up to the painted area. Turn around this way. It's had a weird piece of wood right here. I'm not sure what that deal is, but it's a very old piece. And the other thing that I like to do, don't want to forget this part here. I already vacuumed this out. See how pretty that looks. And I'll also wipe this back tomorrow. Oops, let me get the back of it. Now this is where I do kind of go a bit on drawers. I like to have the drawers. I like to use the butter on all the parts of the drawer because it does condition the wood. But I like to do the runner, the drawer runner, because if there's ever a problem with it sticking, which this one does not stick, but this just keeps the wood from drying out so much. And I feel like it helps protect, from any splintering or anything because it does condition it. And then I'm also going to go in here. Now, over there. Okay, I am going to, almost dropped it. I'm going to take it, I vacuumed in here today, but I'm going to go ahead and go over it with the Big Mama stuff. Okay. I'm going to do this part here. This is one area where I like to have it looking good and conditioned. Now the application for this, if I were to seal the piece, is pretty much the same as the hemp oil. You're just going to put a little bit on your rag and rub it into the paint. The application is almost like it's pretty much identical. It just depends on, you have to consider, is it going to be a piece that you're going to eat off of, or your kids, is it going to be in a kid's room, you want to use the hemp oil. You can see how dirty it was in there. I vacuumed it out, but so look at how much nicer that looks in there. See that? Okay, so we're done. We are almost completely done painting this piece. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, so we have done 2 coats of paint, 3 coats of, we only did 1 coat of coffee bean because it covered it so well. We did 3 coats of tobacco road up here. We still need to do our high gloss, and then we're going to use gilding wax. And I'll kind of just give you a little taste of what that's going to. I did not put in foil. Well, I did put a little bit in there. But I'm going to take, and we're going to use bronze. Okay. And I can't get a little because my hands are greasy. Now this gilding wax is oil based. I can see already where there's some places that are going to need to be wiped back or added to. It's kind of testy trying to figure out which is which. So once it starts getting splotchy, don't panic. Okay, don't panic if your hemp oil is splotchy. You just want to wait, let it do its thing, and then buff it back, and then determine whether you're going to do it. So this is bronze. We are getting, like I said before, we are getting new gilding waxes. This is not available, but they're going to be even better. And they're also going to be still oil-based, which I'm so happy about because I love the oil-based gilding waxes. But tomorrow, we're going to be adding some gilding wax to this piece. Okay? That's just a little, you see the shine? So I'm not going to keep going, but we're going to be adding it to all of the raised areas. I'm even going to bring it, I'll show you how I did it on here. This was my test piece to see what I wanted to do tonight. And do you see the gilding wax? You can see it on here, on the top parts right here. And then this is the high gloss top. So this is what we're going for. Okay. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll do the gloss or hemp oil, knock it back, or add to after we figure out if it's going to need more or not, and the gilding wax. Okay. So I'll be here at 7 o'clock tomorrow. If y'all want to join me, I would love for you to come join me. If you enjoyed the video, please sprinkle it along. And if you're not already following me, if you follow me, then you won't miss out on any of our great videos. And if you're looking for a video, remember I'm now on YouTube, Paint Fixation. I think that's how you find me. I'm not real sure, I just did it. But it's easier to go on there to find my videos than it is to go through the Facebook feed. So now you can just go in there and it's all there. So I wish I'd done it before. But I kind of had to for the new website. So I was forced into it, but now I'm glad that I was. All right, you guys have a great evening. God bless, and thank you so much for joining me tonight and putting up with the sound issues. Hopefully we'll figure out what's going on. All right, take care. Bye.